Arch Manning made his first start in SEC play yesterday, getting a win over Mississippi State. Final score 35-13 at the crib. What do we make, though, of Arch Manning in this game? Because I get it's still early on in his career, but this was a spot now that I thought was a little bit interesting. Is he continuing to make progress? Is he trending up? We'll talk about it right now. Make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. Whether you're a Texas Longhorn fan, whether you're just a college football sicko period, we want y'all involved and subscribed and a part of this college football sicko community. So we appreciate y'all for that. So like I said, I was curious about this spot for Arch Manning because they had success. They had rolled their last two against lesser competition. Mississippi State, not very good. This is a home game you get before the bye week. Then you got Oklahoma. So there was a lot of factors to where, like, hey, they could look ahead. They could be a little bit maybe not totally bringing their A game. There's a chance now for Arch to let up a little bit, and this is going to be a different – I mean, just to call a spade here, Mississippi State, they're now 1-4. They're still a Power 4 football team. They're still an SEC football team. They're not going to be the same look as a UTSA, all right, or a UL Monroe. But with that being said, and with all those question marks, his last name is still Manning, and he's still a dude. 26 for 31, 324, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 10.5 yards an attempt. The thing that I loved about him yesterday, yes, definitive, decisive with the football, never tried to do too much. Because after the success you have, after you're able to do some things that you do against UL Monroe where you push the football deep and you do the certain things against UTSA, I think we've seen throughout college football at different spots across the country, the windows you can fit it in against a UTSA and a UL Monroe are not the same windows you can fit it in against Mississippi State. And so sometimes you see young quarterbacks get greedy, think they can do things they did against those teams against better competition. And again, Arch Manning, 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers. The big takeaway for me, you see him continuing to climb and progress each week. Now, is he going to be the guy for you this year when Quinn Ewers is healthy? No. It's going to be Quinn Ewers' football team. Everyone now understands that. That's been beaten to death. That's 100% the case. But the reason why this is so encouraging if you're a Texas fan, when he gets the job next year, when it is Arch Manning's football team, there was probably going to be some growing pains. And there still might be. There still might be a point in time where Arch Manning has to kind of figure some things out, acclimate to being the guy. But here's the big part for me. He has now had some reps at being the guy. He has had several Mondays where they install the game plan around Arch Manning, where he walks into that meeting room, he walks into that quarterback room, he is the guy going forward. He's the guy in the huddle. He has command at practice. All those things now, it's just impossible to get reps at until you actually do it. And so I think what you're doing now, if you're Texas, you are laying the foundation for the Arch Manning era. Yes, this year is still about Quinn Ewers. This year is still about winning a national championship. I think that's going to be the standard here at Texas as long as Steve Sarkisian is there. However, you're laying the foundation, and I think trying to maybe minimize some of those growing pains you would have otherwise if he weren't getting these reps and getting these starts he's getting right now. So it's never a good thing to have Quinn Ewers go down. It's never something you take a positive from, but I do think there's something to be said about trying to get ahead of those growing pains, again, laying the foundation for him going forward, feeling that pressure, all those things. Now, maybe at the same time, I don't want to put too much of emphasis on game against Mississippi State and some lesser competition before that. But I think if you're a Texas fan, and maybe internally at Texas, seeing Arch Manning do what he's done to this point and be able to have success that he's had, you feel some reasonable confidence that if there's ever a point in time again in the near future where you don't have Quinn Ewers going forward and he's not able to go or whatever happens, you have somebody in that quarterback room that can fly the plane. And in a season where you might have to play 17 games, that's pretty invaluable. Like, give Steve Sarkisian credit for having not just, a backup quarterback, but legitimately having 2 deep at the most important position on your team. Now, hopefully not in that position anymore, in the future, but I do think that there is a lot to be made about this. Because what we said about laying the foundation for the future with Arch Manning, that's 100% true, but also, if you find yourself in the situation again, you're not wondering about who Arch Manning is. Now, maybe there's some more difficult competition for him going forward if he does have to play, but like you're not wondering, okay, how's he going to respond? Is he ready for this moment? Is it going to be too bright lights for him? Or is he going to be overwhelmed by the speed of the game? Again, if he's out there against Georgia or he's out there against, some better competition going forward, sure, there's question marks. But at a base level, you feel good that Arch Manning can fly the plane for you. So you hope that's not the case. But I'm encouraged by the progress we've seen, by the way he's attacked it, and by the plays that he's made, and also by the plays he hasn't tried to make, especially in this game. No turnovers. Texas didn't play their best, kind of sloppy at times, but still found a way to get it done, surged at the end, and Arch Manning, 26-31, over 3 bills, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Yeah, you'll take that every single day of the week. So, if you're a Texas fan, if you're a college football sicko, period, subscribe to the channel on the socials, at JD Piquel. Let me know on Instagram and on Twitter what you thought of Arch Manning in this game against Mississippi State. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.